Good morning, Fox Pack. Welcome back to the Fox Den and welcome to another acid tree. Today we have a fun little video that we're going to be filming. We are going to be actually making the Mustang quieter, in particular the exhaust. So as you guys know, the car currently has the Mbrp race 3-inch catback exhaust, and it's basically a straight pipe with some Helmholtz resonators. It sounds awesome, but after driving it for several months, I've decided we're gonna make it quieter, especially now that the car is supercharged. All we have to do, actually, I bought the full catback because you have to buy the catback to get the mufflers in order to do this axle back swap. You guys will see what I mean when we get into it. But basically, I'm just gonna swap the axle backs with the axle backs that have the mufflers on them, and then just sell the rest of the exhaust as it is. So I drove the car not too long ago for a while, and let me just show you how loud this is. Alright, it's loud. Now it's a warm start, so it wasn't that loud, but it's loud. The cold starts are brutal, but the thing is, the idle is set a little higher than stock because it has the blower. And that's to keep the blower lubricated. The G37 did this as well. And the idle is super loud, just to sum everything up as to why I'm doing this. So we're gonna put these on, see how it sounds. It should sound relatively the same. Maybe slightly deeper tone. I'm really just after volume here. So let's put it on. So here's the new exhaust. This is what we are actually swapping onto the car. You can see they're just big old mufflers. So I got the car on the ramps. Now this is what it sounds like right now. It's not too loud, but it is pretty noisy just for idle. And the car's at operating temperature, and you can hear how loud the idle actually is. So with these, I want to tone that down, maybe refine the sound a little bit, and just make it more streetable. Well, of course I was a genius and got the exhaust really hot, but basically this is what we're replacing. Now you can see the difference between the race and the street. The street has this big Helmholtz, or the race has this big Helmholtz resonator right here, and just a straight pipe, whereas this is a muffler. So yeah, that's what we're changing. We're gonna remove this section on each side and install the mufflers and the tips and go from there. Well, I finally got the driver's side off. It's just a lot of wiggling and pushing, and I had to undo the mid pipe back there just to give me more room to play with it. But you can see the difference between the street and the race, and that's really, yeah, that's the only difference, is that muffler. So now we just basically swap these out. I still have to get the other side off. I did go ahead and unbolt this exhaust hanger just to make it easier, and that's where I unbolted it back there, because I have to be able to move this pipe around in order to wiggle that off and all that. So it's a little more annoying than I thought this would be, but I gotta get this one off. This one's in place at least. Now I got the other side off. We're gonna put this side on. And I'll just kind of line it up where the old one was. You can see where it was. Just like that. So now, I'm not going to clamp this up yet. I have to go and put these hangers back and then kind of just line everything up. Now these hangers, they sit up here. They hook in like that. You just bolt them in. So I'm going to hang them back up and just kind of adjust everything, and then we'll put the tips on. And UPS bent the shit out of this. It doesn't really matter for much, but it just annoys me. But we're gonna install these tips, and we just tighten these there. Pretty good. Got one sticking out further than the other to go with the bumper. So I'm gonna do the other side. And these, like I said, these are really simple. Just screw them on or tighten them up. And then we're gonna go under the car and lift up on this so we get it more aligned, snug up the clamps, make sure they're even, the tips are even, and then we'll secure everything down fully, and then we can fire it up. All right, we're bolted up. Let's see how it looks. Not too bad. Now the old exhaust was kind of the same way, where the tips were like lopsided like this, and I actually like the look of it. I think probably gonna leave it like that for right now. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what it sounds like. As I said before, this is the full catback. In order to get the mufflers for that, you have to buy the full catback, which is the stupidest thing ever. But I'm just gonna sell this on eBay along with the race section. Yeah, that's pretty good. I might go back and make some adjustments later after I drive it a bit, and I'm sure it's gonna move, but I mean, other than that, now of course I'm sure these mufflers will probably have to break in, but let's just see how much quieter it is for now. Oh yeah, that is a lot quieter. Nice. That is a lot quieter. Dude, that sounds nice. You can hear the blower whining. I dig it. That's a lot quieter. And it still sounds really good. That's gonna be way more streetable than the race. It's not like the race didn't really drone or anything like that. Sometimes it did, but it's just loud. It's a 3-inch exhaust too. Some guys run the race with no cats. I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure the mufflers will break in a bit. It'll probably get a little louder, but for now, I like it. I'm pretty happy with that. So let me get it off the ramps, and we'll take it for a drive, and I'll try to get you guys some sound clips. That sounds good. All right, first drive with the Mbrp Street catback exhaust. First thing I'm noticing, it's got such a nice deep tone. And yes, my sunglasses match the car. Just at idle, the tone is way deeper. It doesn't sound so hollow. This is much better. Part of my concern was the car is already a cop magnet as it is. We don't need an insanely loud exhaust to top it off. It was fun. I wanted something that was nice and mature, if that makes sense. We'll drop into sport mode here. So even the little acceleration there, the 10-speed kind of revs up pretty high in sport mode sometimes. In that scenario with the old setup, the race, the shit would echo off the trees like crazy, and I honestly cringed a little bit, just because, you know, it's so loud. Like I said, it'll probably get a little louder as it breaks in. But I can't imagine it's going to get much louder. I've had exhausts in the past. Sometimes they get quieter as they break in. Usually they get louder. And as a friendly reminder, I do have the whine mod on these centrifugal blowers, so that's why you hear a ton of whine in the cabin. You can hear the blow-off valve a lot more. I like it. Holy crap. Now I can actually hear the blow-off valve. just like the G37 days now. I can hear the blow-off valve. We'll do a little pull here. Traction control on, of course. Okay. It sounds good. Oh, it's some burbles. It pulls so hard. Just for the record, that was my first time doing a pull in automatic mode. It is in sport mode. It has such a much deeper tone now. Like it doesn't have that rasp anymore. I mean, it wasn't that raspy with the old setup, but it was a little bit. It just sounded obnoxious to me. This doesn't have that. It sounds really nice. Once again, I mean, we'll see how, you know, it breaks in and all that, but I can't imagine it's really going to change much. Some exhausts do. We'll see. Maybe it'll sound completely different in a few days, because I do have to drive this car all week, which kind of sucks because it's going to rain, because all my other cars are currently unavailable. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad I did this, that's for sure. It's much more drivable now. No drone either. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. That is the Mbrp Street Catback, now installed on the Mustang. Going from the race to the street is a night and day difference. The tone out of the street is much deeper. It's much more mellow. But when you get on it, it still has that awesome growl. It's just quieter. And maybe this will help you decide if you want the street or the race. The race is it sounds good, like, don't get me wrong, but it is super loud, and it's got a bit more rasp to it. This has a nice deep tone, but it's very controlled, and it's much more daily drivable for sure. We'll have to see how the cold start is too. I'm really curious how that's going to be, but I'm very glad I did this. Personally, from switching from the race to the street was definitely a good move. Be much more happy with this now, and it'll just be much more practical. I don't have to worry about annoying people. That's just how loud the race was. It was oh, another 5.0 drove by. That's just how the race was. It was really obnoxious, not gonna lie. And I still have factory headers and cats. This is perfect, so I'm very happy with it. I'll be selling the race, and this will maybe cost me $200-300 to do this, and I'm happy with that. So I'll update you guys in another video. We'll do another exhaust video, probably with some GoPro footage too. It's been a while since we've done one of those, and we haven't done one with this car, and we'll see if it changes sound at all. Maybe it will as it breaks in. I'd imagine it might get a little deeper, but we'll see what happens. So don't forget to subscribe, join the Fox Path today, hit the bell notifications to be notified when we do something stupid. Follow me on Instagram at GrabberFox50, and you can follow our TikTok at GrabberFox Racing Group. So I have more stuff to do to this car. There's still a video that I haven't posted yet. I think you guys are going to like it. I hope it turned out okay. And stay tuned. Remember, life's too short to stay stock, and it's not illegal if you get caught. Stay foxy.